name is Chama and I'm making this video from Lagos, Nigeria. My son Olisaemeka was diagnosed with a middle ear infection, a really bad one. In fact, they called it left chronic maxillary sinusitis. His ears were bothering him, so we took him to the ENT consultant. He requested a CT scan, which we brought, and then that's when he gave us a diagnosis and said we needed to treat it aggressively, that the infection was pretty bad. He gave us a slew of medication, including steroids and antibiotics. We had to do stimulation a couple of times a day. It was a lot. After a few weeks, we went back for a review, and the situation wasn't any better. So he upped the medication, gave us some more, changed some things, and said, okay, let's try this. And at that point, he told us that if this didn't get better on its own, we might need to do surgery so it doesn't affect his hearing too much. A few weeks after that, I came back from work, and as I was going up the stairs, I heard the TV. It was really, really loud. And I went upstairs and I saw my son and turned off the TV. I'm like, why is this TV so loud? And he told me he can only hear when the TV is that loud. If I kept telling Mommy, what did you say? Can you speak up? I scolded him and said, oh no, turn it down, it's too loud. Over the course of the next day or so, I realized that when you talk to him, he wouldn't hear you. If he's not looking at you, he wouldn't hear what you were saying. Like if he's walking away and trying to call his name, he wouldn't know except you were screaming. And that's when I realized that his hearing had become affected by this middle ear infection. So I took him back to the ENT consultant. He ordered a test, and when the results came back, it was a type B tympanogram, essentially flat audio in both ears. At that point, I realized that I was taking this thing too lightly. Infection, antibiotics is clear. But my son losing his hearing, no. I've been on this fire altar in 2020 when it first started. I joined this fire altar, and I said, it's not on my watch that my son will lose his hearing. So I immediately brought out my NSPPD book when I got home. Put my book here. I took the results, I put it in here, and this is where I write my prayer points. This is where I write down any word that concerns me, my family, or somebody I'm praying for. And every day on NSPPD, I will ask God, please heal my son, reverse this hearing issue. On August 3rd, I had an appointment at 7 in the morning, and I wasn't allowed taking my phone. So I got back to the office about 9, and as I was walking to my office, there are a bunch of us in the office that listen to NSPPD, and sometimes we will get together and just talk about some of the amazing things that God did in the testimonies we had that day. So one of them ran to me, Itero, God bless you. I had shared with them what I was dealing with my son. And she said, oh, Chima, did you hear the word for your son on the NSPPD this morning? And I said, no word. I'm just coming into work. I didn't get a chance to listen. And she said, Pastor Jerry gave a word concerning your son. And I claimed it. I said, oh, I claimed it to Chima's son. I thanked her and I went into my office, started working, put in my AirPods, and I listened to the prayer for that day. And then the word came about someone with an infection that was affecting the hearing.
I don't know the virus infection that they said is causing you hearing loss. By the message of God, I announce, let it be reversed right now.
I immediately recorded it, sent it to my son. It was during the long holidays. It was at my sister's house. And I called. I said, oh yeah, listen to this. I'm beginning to claim this healing. I put it on our family chat group and I said, everybody should pray and let's claim this for Olisa. The next day, Olisa called me. And usually when he calls me, he will say, okay, Mommy, I'm going to send you a message because I can't really hear what you're saying very well. But that day he didn't. So Olisa was just talking about blah. I said, Olisa, can you hear me? He said, Mommy, yeah. I can hear, my ears are better. 2 weeks later, we went for a review. And the doctor said, your son is fine. That day, I came back home and I wrote it down and I checked. This was August 3rd. September, October, November. My son's hearing is perfect. In fact, he's hearing the one they sent him and the one they didn't send him. Pastor Jerry, we did pray, it is show. For those that don't understand that, what that means is that we are praying and we have our evidence. Thank you, Pastor Jerry. I was not on the fire altar, but somebody said amen for me and God did it for me. God bless you all. What God cannot do does not exist.